Hello, welcome back to Common Tools Tutorials. My name is Arden Thomas. You can reach me at athomas@syncom.com. Today we're going to talk about code recovery. Code recovery works in both of our products, and what essentially happens is as you develop and make changes in your image, all the work is logged, it's recorded. So if say your building lost power, your computer crashed, a rare occasion of your image crashing happened, your work would not be lost. So we're going to show you how to recover that work in this tutorial. Let's get started. I'm going to open up a browser. And if you recall from previous screencasts, we developed a domain model called temperature. This is what it looks like. This is the code that it has. So say we developed this, and we did all this work, and then our computer lost power, and we lost everything. I can simulate that. I can say exit, and instead of saving, I'm going to say no. And essentially, we did not save any of that work. So how can we restore that work? Let's take a look. First, we'll need to restart the image. Okay, I've restarted the image, and I can go and verify. And in fact, the package, domain models, does not exist here. So how can I restore that? First thing I'll do is go to the Tools menu and choose Change List. This is what the change list looks like. The change list lets you look into that log file of all the work that's been done. Now there's lots of options here. We'll cover some frequently used ones. If we just want to recover the last things that we did, we'll go to Recover Last Changes. If we want to go farther back in the log, we can go to Recover Changes. And what that'll give you is all the log snapshots going back. But for this, we'll just choose Recover Last Changes. Now, I'm going to show you a pattern that is a very typical and useful way to do this. Now, I'll have lots of changes. I may have changed a method 10 times over the course of development. And maybe I only want to bring in the final version. If that's the case, what I'll do is I'll say remove old versions. That removes all the old versions of that method as it was developed for all my things. Also, a good idea is to remove the same code as system, because if we've already got it, we don't need to bring it back in. Then I'll do this. I will forget all marked. Now, some of the things I may have are things like this right here. Let's see, do-its, where I test things out. And let's see, here's more typical do-its. And if I want to remove all those do-its, I can choose type. So this is a set of filters on the side here to filter out what I'm looking at. I can say remove all here and forget all marked. I'm going to remove. I can remove by hand also. Let's see, remove and remove. Even if you don't forget it, if you replay this, anything stricken out will not be replayed. So once I've filtered out my list that I want to restore in the system, I can go to the point, either from the top or a particular point. I'm going to start right here and say replay all from here down. And if I go now and look, I have essentially restored my temperature domain model and all the lost code. Let's look at a couple more commonly used features in here. If you have a really large changelog, often you might find, for example, the class that you want to work with, and then you can filter it to just by class, or just by a certain protocol, in this case change. You can find a certain selector. So these let you filter what you're looking at. But also, if it's a really large changelog you're looking at, finding a class, finding a protocol, finding a selector, in particular class and selector, are very useful ways to find essentially the needle in the haystack. If it's a really massive set of changes you're looking at and you want to hone in on a couple things, like just the things in the class because there's one or a few methods that you want to bring back in, or go to a previous version even because the current one is not good, you can use this tool to do all kinds of interesting and creative things to recover and find earlier versions of your code. So I hope that helps. Remember, my name is Arden Thomas. You can reach me if you have any questions, comments, athomas@syncom.com. Until the next time, have a great time with Smalltalk.